All right. Don't you know? Don't you know? Another edition of the Chirping Pucks podcast. I'm Frankie James alongside me, Ryan Hockey, the man, the myth, the legend. What's going on, buddy?
What's up? Sorry, I had to leave for a couple seconds. My window is
I
leaking.
saw that. I was it leaking? We had a little leakage.
Yeah, a little leakage going on right now, but hopefully that
Well, you made it back.
stays there.
I'm gonna check my basement. We are storming right now outside, but I don't know. We're storming outside. We're gonna be storming inside. We got Jason Myrtetus gonna join us momentarily to talk about just everything that's going on with him, little Flyers hockey, and then talk about the tournament, which is only a couple days away, my friend. How you feeling about that? Finally,
I'm pumped. I'm very excited for this.
I know you are. Well, let's not waste any time. Let's get the man in himself, the one and only, the man with the plan. Let's welcome Jason Myrtetus to the show. Jason, how we doing, my friend?
What's going on? I just got a flash for a flash flood warning in effect till 10:45.
I don't float away on us.
Maybe they know what's going on with my urinary situation better than I do.
Yeah, listen, the words can have been spoken any truer. You never know what could happen. Just sending messages through the message. But I was just right off the bat, man. Thanks for joining us today, dude. I mean, we've been talking back and forth now for the last couple months, and before we get into the tournament, just want to thank you for your time and just to kind of just check in with you and see how you've been feeling. Obviously, you went public with your story about your cancer diagnosis, and just wanted to check on and see how things are going and what's the latest updates on that situation.
Well, thank you guys too. I mean, you guys putting on this tournament is beyond. It's humbling, frankly, and it's crazy to me. You know, the support that I've gotten from the hockey community. I didn't expect anything less. Like, I went public with my story because I had to give it some kind of purpose, or else I would have just crawled into a hole and just been like a resentful prick. You know, I would have just looked around and people have been like, "That guy's a bad dude. Why doesn't he have it? Why do I have it?" You know. So I was like, I got to give this some kind of purpose and trying to find a way to take more from the cancer than it's going to take from me. And, and I knew that I could help people because they could kind of avoid what I did, because I was in total denial, like conscious denial that I was sick for a year and a half. And last fall, it just became too much where I couldn't deny it anymore. I couldn't hide it anymore. I was just hiding it from my wife that I was sick. And I just got so sick that I couldn't. Eventually, I just came up one morning after I did an Eagles post-game show late at night, and Monday morning, she gets up at like 5 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning. I do not. And I came up at like 5 a.m. and she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "You got to take me to the ER now." So and she's like, "What? I'm like, what's going on?" And I kind of spilled the beans, obviously. But I knew I could help people. You guys are getting the warning now too.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry.
Everyone's coming in. Breaking news, everybody.
Yeah. But like, I went public because I knew I could help people to like kind of help them, create that urgency if you're not feeling right, or get a colonoscopy when you're 45 or all that stuff. But totally selfishly, I knew that people could help me because I know this hockey community. And, it's been overwhelming, like how much,
much support's come through.
Yeah, it's been just crazy. Like yesterday, a buddy of mine texted me like out of the blue. I haven't heard from him in a little while, and he just goes, "Dude, are you home?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm doing a show." And he's like, "Is anybody?" Nobody was here at the time, and I'm like, "He's like, I'm drop something off," and I'm like, "All right, just leave by the door." And I go up, and there's this huge lasagna from Carlino.
Let's go.
I'm like,
little lasagna.
Not only is it lasagna, but it's Carlino's lasagna. Like
Carlino's. Wash it down with a cold glass of milk, right, Jason?
Oh, white milk, absolutely. So I mean,
it's so disgusting.
That stuff's awesome. Like my next door neighbor, it was like, you would see me out there every spring, like doing the, the flower beds and respreading the mulch and weeding them and all that, and he knew I couldn't do it, so he just had his guy do it. Like that kind of stuff's awesome.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and
just little things, just like that, man.
Yeah, I walked in the front door one day, and I'm like, who the hell did this? I'm like, first of all, I know the old lady didn't do it because it's done way.
That was me, Jason. I actually stopped by and I did that for you, buddy. No problem.
And I found out it was him, and I was like, oh man, that's just awesome. So it's been unbelievable. But we're kind of coming to the end of this phase of treatment. I don't know if it's the last part or not yet.
Yeah.
But I've had 25 radiation treatments of 28. I have one tomorrow, Friday, and Monday. And then I'll be done with the radiation, and I'll have to wait a few months until they do my next scans, and we'll see where we go from there. I'm hoping to be
absolute warrior, man. Yeah, absolute warrior. Thank you for being so vulnerable and opening up to us, man. Seriously.
Yeah, I mean, like I've always approached like my on-air life as being very transparent. I mean, there's obviously some things that I keep private with my family and stuff like that. But, I've always talked about, the perils of raising kids and being on the radio and all that stuff. But, so that part, just being authentic about it. And, I think people have responded to it, which is really cool. So,
just like kind of what you said, just responding. Michelle, this is Ryan's mom. We love our hockey moms. Mom, thanks
Mama
for checking
Hockey.
in. Mama Hockey jumps in.
Yeah, they're the best. My hockey moms getting in the car with the stinky bag.
My mom. If only my mom could hear that one. She knows all about that. Thanks for checking in, Mom. Really appreciate it. And we all have just being able to be so open about it has been incredible because, like I said, just comments like that. And I talked to you about my dad, and that's kind of like when my dad got diagnosed. It's very similar. Like for like the last for like the year going in to his diagnosis, he lived we think he knew, but he didn't say anything. And then when it came push shove, we had to find out. And he was diagnosed with stage 4 and he had cancer in his mouth. And it's been about 5 years, and still trying to do the best he can and all that. But I know, Ryan, you have a story too, because your mom actually is a survivor as well.
Yeah. So I had my mom. Well, I'll start my grandparents. I lost my grandparents and my aunt to cancer. In 2015, I lost my aunt, and then my grandfather right after that, and a couple years later, my grandma. So cancer's been through my family a lot, and obviously I hate it to this day. But when my mom got diagnosed with breast cancer, she only had a stage 1. But when I found out, I broke down because I lost so many people, and then my mom, and so my mom.
You just hear the word associated with your mom, you think your mom's going.
Exactly, and then seeing how everything was with my aunt and how fast she went and had stage 4 lung cancer, and my grandparents went. My mom.
Did he go full robot on us?
Yeah, I think the storms are hitting his.
The storms hitting Rye a minute there.
Yeah, he's frozen.
But we got a comment, and Ryan will jump back in when his service comes in. Our good man Hoove is playing in the tournament. Hoove also gave us quite a donation. Yo, boys, love Flyers daily. Jason, listen every single day. Thanks, Ryan.
Appreciate it. Yeah, that's one of those things. Like with the podcast, like I wasn't sure like how much to talk about it because I fully recognize like people like they want to like listen to hockey talk or whatever to escape from reality, and I don't want to be too much reality for them. So I've tried to like be cognizant of that. But the listeners to the show have been like insanely supportive and been awesome. And when I had to tap out on occasion, I had to tap out last week. I couldn't do Friday. Get somebody to fill in. It'd been great.
I think Bill mentioned that one of the shows you like to talk with Bill, and big shout out to them over there. They'll throw their little logo up there. Hockey Hot Stove. Got a great group over there with Bill Meltzer and a few other good gentlemen. I got to sit down with Bill and we had a conversation. He just covered a little bit about the tournament. So big shout out to him. Thanks for that, Big Bill. Great guy. Spoke so highly of you too. Said he was happy to call you a friend, and he said he's going to miss the tournament.
He's seen me before episodes before we hit record sometimes, and like this is the way radio is too. Like radio guys are just like anybody else. Like you feel like total crap at work, and you're just like sludging through a day. And during a break, you're sitting there, and like Bill would see me like before shows, and I didn't have anything. Like I had no juice, and my voice was going, and then we hit record, and the light goes on. Man, you got to perform, so you just suck it up and you push. And just push through it. And Bill had a chance to see me before we press record on a few occasions. He knew that the hell I was in.
Yeah. Just real quick, you just got to put the face on. My good friend Vic Vito, a great sponsor of the tournament, actually, with Strides for John Carlo. We'll be playing for them on Check It for Charity. Jason, you are a warrior. Keep fighting. Our good man. Another comment here. Kevin Broggan. What's going on, man? What's up, boys? Jason, you got this. No doubt about it, brother. Flyers Daly's the best. Bill's a rock star. Let's go, Flyers. Yeah, love it, Kev. Kev, I'll see you at the tournament too, my friend.
Yeah, I'll be there as well. I'm going to get up there and try and spend as much time as I can.
We're excited to have you.
The wife are coming up. I know a couple other people. Raider Frank's coming up, and we'll have a good time.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
I love being in the rink. I just love being.
And you've just been over there too, right? You got to see the 3-versus-3 rink because the boys had a little scrimmage over there, I believe.
Yeah, I wasn't there for the scrimmage. I made it over for a little bit. I planned on staying longer that day. I had a bunch of interviews lined up, but I just had to go because it just wasn't feeling well. Yeah, I got a few that I taped and got in the can, and Alex Bump, who we featured today, and Barkey, who I'll feature coming up on Friday. But yeah, I just wasn't able to hang. I had to get out of there. So, and I wasn't
busy
able to
man
scrimmage either, which is unfortunate. But
well,
yeah, we're gonna be there Saturday for sure.
We'll be there Saturday. And now that you mentioned it, we're going to kind of transition in. Those for you just joined in, we have Jason Myrtetus with us. All types of good stuff he has going on, which we'll plug towards the end of the show, and it'll be in the description once we upload. But make sure you do follow Jason Myrtetus on his social media. We'll make sure we do that plug momentarily. But let's talk a little Flyers hockey with you, Jason, while we have you. You know what I mean? Let's talk about some good stuff here. I know Ryan's got a few questions he wants to ask, but I mean, we can start off with it right off the bat and just your opinion of the 6th overall draft pick with Martone. What do you think about this pick? What are you saying? I'm hearing comparisons to Matachuk, and that's a player that I would build a team around personally. So I would love to hear your opinion on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably unfair to compare him to Tkachuk at this point, but the comparables are there because of where Tkachuk was in his draft year and where Martone is in his draft year as well. So, and obviously the body type. Is he as mean as Tkachuk? I don't know. We'll see. Is he going to be that mean at the pro level? We'll find out. But I'm not one of those guys that believes that your best player has to be a center. I see teams that win cups, their best player is not a center. Whether that's, a team like Tampa, Kucherov's their best player is a winger. And you see a lot of really good teams and their best players are the wingers. And the center is a byproduct of that to help the wingers out. And I believe that you can build a team that way. That said, you got to have a really good center. But drafting a winger with the 6th overall pick, they need centers. But he was the best player available in their eyes. And I happen to agree. I'm not a draft expert. I don't pretend to be. But
me either.
Well,
I mean, we got enough draft experts on Twitter. You don't need to know.
I was about to say that, too. That's what I was about to say that.
So,
they're all there.
Yeah, they watch a highlight package of YouTube. Like, I can learn some stuff from a highlight package.
They watch Flyers Daily Live.
Yeah, like I learn more watching a guy like in person after he screws up, takes a penalty, and they get scored on. How he acts on the bench, how he interacts with his
second
coaches.
and third efforts.
Yeah, and those I want to see a guy how he responds to adversity and how he treats people. Is he coachable or is he? I always say, is he a winner or is he a whiner? You don't learn those things by watching a highlight package. Yeah, you learn those
the old whiners out there.
They're still out there. You have winners. You have really talented guys that are whiners. They won't cut it at the NHL because of that, because they're just so used to having things their way. So I like the pick, and I'm looking forward to watching them. I'd love to watch him this year, but I don't know if that's the right thing. I feel the right thing, though, is for him not to go back to the CHL. So you got to decide before training camp soon if he's gonna kind of be with you or not, and that's hard to do because is he ready for the NHL? I don't know. I think if he's not going to play in the NHL, he should play in the NCAA. And if you're going to play in the NCAA, you can't go to training camp. So you kind of got to make that decision now. I think you should go to Penn State and play with Gavin McKenna.
Let's go. We are. We are.
Go win a national championship with Penn State with Gavin McKenna.
So incredible.
When that season ends, the Frozen Four ends, and you win the chip, just like Alex Bump, you come down here and you start your pro career.
Let's go. Speaking of Bump, I know that Ryan, you want to touch on Bump actually, and I'll let you take on this one.
Obviously, for Alex Bump and obviously what just happened with development camp, do you see him cracking the roster this year? I know they was Zegras just signing, and they just obviously what they have their lineup. Do you see Bump kind of sliding in there during training camp and making the roster, or do you see him one where you're in Lehigh?
He's got a chance to, especially with Tyson Forster's injury situation, to make the team out of camp. Is it to make the team out of camp and stay with him for the whole year? That we'll see about that.
Yeah,
he's got a better chance, I think, right now. He got done at Western Michigan last year. Obviously, he had a great year and won a national championship. And I talked to him last week, and that difference from the college game to the pro game is enormous, and he felt it. He got off to a really good start. He had 3 points in the first 2 games, and then got in the playoffs. And you saw him; he was getting keyed on a little bit more, and he wasn't as offensively proficient. So he's going to have to adjust to the pro game, and it's not an easy one to adjust to, even for a guy that's a little bit older that went through the college route, played 2 years at Western Michigan. So his game is mature. The thing I really like about his game, like we see him with the puck and what he can do, but the thing that I look at that really stuck out to me in watching him at Western Michigan and a little bit with the Phantoms was where he migrates to without the puck in the offensive zone. He goes to good ice. Like he doesn't just kind of twist off into safe ice where he doesn't have to be accounted for. He goes to good ice to make him defense always have to be aware of where he is. So that's a good instinctual hockey IQ thing that I think he has, which will benefit him at the NHL level. Physically, I think he's absolutely right. He's stacked on a ton of muscle in the last 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
So he's got a real chance. He's going to be one of those guys, one of the storylines we're looking at in camp for sure. Because, I mean, look, when you're turning a fifth-round pick a couple years ago, 2022, into a guy that's possibly going to be on your roster and be perhaps a decent contributor, then you go, okay, that's a storyline to watch. So could he come in and be one of those guys like when Matt Reed came out of Bemidji? Maybe.
Oh, Matt Reed.
That's a nice comparison right there.
Matt Reed came into that camp and was like, this dude's going to make the team because he came out of Bemidji. He was really good in collegiate game. So could it be a situation like that? Perhaps.
Well, hopefully. Good old Matt Reed.
He was a good player for a while.
Interesting career.
That's your boy, isn't
he was a good player. Nah, I just wish that they would have. So the Claude Giroux conversation always gets brought up with me because people like to kind of poke my chest, and I just wish that they would have had somebody other than Matt Reed on that team helping him out a little bit more. But that's a personal thing.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question, Jason, about a player that I've been watching. I got to watch last year during training camp and development camp was Jet Luchanko. Where do you see him this year? I mean, obviously he got this come up here a little bit last year. I was a huge fan. I think he worked pretty well with Mitch Cobb. I'm sure they have other plans for that though. But the way that Jet moved, man, his vision was incredible. He was able to just sauce around the ice like no other at such a young age. Where do you see Jet this season coming in?
Again, similar to Porter in the sense that going back to the CHL, I don't think does him much good. I really don't. Yeah. Not that he stacked up, a crazy offensive production year last year. Yeah. But I just think his game is more mature than the CHL. I think at his age, it's not a challenge to him enough. I'd much rather see him be able to play in the AHL, but this stupid rule doesn't allow that. So you got to consider that when you're the Flyers and making this decision. What's the best thing long-term for Jet Luchanko's development? Is it going and just playing in Guelph again in the CHL, or is it being in the NHL and maybe doesn't play 82 games? Maybe he plays 65 games.
If he does the best move.
And I think that you can play him. He's not a guy that when he comes into the NHL right away has to play with skilled players on a top nine. He could play fourth line center for you and play 12, 15 minutes a game, kill penalties. And
he's got speed.
You watch him. The skating is there, right?
It's incredible, man. It was incredible watching him play last season.
Yeah, so natural. He's fast. Again, smart player. You'd never watching him and corresponding with him. You'd never think he was the age that he is. His game is a very mature game and detailed. And off the ice, he carries himself like a 26-year-old vet. Like he just doesn't seem young, and the way he approaches things and all that. So that's got to be a consideration for the Flyers. A guy like Dvorak's not going to block him. You move Dvorak to the wing. It's that simple. So I think that's a big consideration. What's best for his overall development? Yeah. It might be being in the NHL.
He is. He's got the body size too. He's a big body as well.
Bulked up a little bit more too. Like he's like a mini Rod Brindamore.
Myrtetus
takes the workout.
I like it, brother. I like it.
Takes the workout thing real serious. Like he told me after he was drafted, I interviewed him and I said to him, when did the fitness thing come in? He said when the pandemic hit, he was like 14, and all his buddies in like Bantam hockey went off and screwed around, played Xbox, and just chilled when hockey got shut down in Canada and everywhere else. And what he did was he got his dad to build him a gym in the garage, and he got to work. And you can tell,
he's
workhorse.
Separates the boys from the men.
And again, very mature decision at 14 years old during the pandemic to do that. So that's impressive.
And another thing that came across my mind for Jet is when he got drafted, his comparison was Konechny, and that really stood out to me. Was we can have two Konechnys, and obviously TK's TK, but having another kind of body like TK on that team, that could do some damage, especially for the power play, the penalty kill, and all that stuff. That's something that stood out to me was when he was compared to TK.
Yeah, I mean, they both move well similarly, even though one's a winger, one's a center. TK played some center in junior, but the body type is way different. Like, he's bigger and stronger than TK now.
Yeah,
and TK's in his prime. But TK knows how to use that body to really be effective. Like, he's learned how to use his body to be effective, and get his space. And I mean, he's a really good hockey player. TK is a real good player. Only spent 1 year back in junior. Boom, made the team. Never played in the AHL.
Made the team. Yeah, we were ready for him to come up here, man. He was in the AHL for a couple of seasons. I was what an anticipated player to have here. And God, I mean, he screams Philadelphia Flyers, and that's something that the identity wasn't there for a little bit. And I actually talked about this when I talked to Jordan Hall when we were on the show with our good friend Pat Bernard. Shout out. Pat Bernard will be there on Saturday as well. We were talking about like kind of just
anytime he called the radio show, Jason, what's going on, buddy? I ran into a Wawa. Pat, what's going on, buddy?
Pat's the man. Pat is the guy. And just to touch on Pat real fast, because he'll be there as well on Saturday. Every time I talk to him, man, the team's over. We gotta trade them all. And then I'm like, Pat, listen to what I have to say here. And he's like, you know what? It makes a lot of sense, Frankie. I'm like,
yeah. He always kills the goalie. I see like his Facebook post or whatever. And he's like, you gotta stop that. And I'm like, dude, will you stop it? It was like a 3-on-0. Like, what's the goalie gonna do? He's one of those guys that thinks everything that see puck, stop puck. Like, doesn't realize there's a guy on the back door all day, just tapping pucks home all day. Like,
what's the back door?
Yeah,
that's funny.
He turns around, looks at his back door.
He's
who's here?
One of those emotional fans.
I love it.
If I may, Frank, I have one more for Jason. I know I asked this question earlier, but it's been stirring for me. Jamie Drysdale, he gets Zegras here in Philly. Cam York staying for 5 years. Do we see the Jamie Drysdale now that Trevor's here and Yorkie's staying? Do we see him get back to how he used to be? He's not under the torts anymore. He's got talk now. Do you see him getting back to his groove?
Yeah, I mean, I thought the last third of the season last year, he really turned a big corner. I think part of that was just getting healthy and staying healthy, and then just getting comfortable with not only the system and structure, but partner. D partner is so enormous. Like, people don't talk about it enough. Consistency in partner is a huge thing for a defenseman, because when you got Matthew Tkachuk and the Panthers bearing down on the forecheck on you, you don't have time to look and wonder where your partner is. You got to just know instinctually where I can pump up, and he's got to know where to go to release the pressure for you.
Yeah,
so that's a huge thing. So I thought he was really good. You see that again, like the skating with him is like it's elite. He's just so effortless the way he can skate and move laterally on his skates. Jump plays in the neutral zone. Is he ever going to be a great defender? No. That's not the player he is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward to see him build on what he accomplished in that final third of the year last year. He put on a lot of muscle last year. He lost a little bit of it during the season. So I'm interested to see that part. He's now going into that part of his career where he's now a man. And he's at that point in his career where he can start to dictate the terms on the ice a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I look forward to seeing that. And as far as, him with Jamie with Trevor Zegras here and Cam, the Cam York contract is a grand salami. Like, if he goes back to being the player he was 2 years ago, I know the analytics community really liked him last year. The eye test didn't kind of measure up the same as the year prior. And I think there's still more to build on that offensively for his game. $5.15 million for 5 years for a player that can economize his energy and play on a top pairing is ridiculously great for the team. Like, in a rising cap world, I mean, that contract, Cam gets the money guaranteed, the 27 million, whatever it is, and the team has got a deal and a half on him. And his ability to defend is better than I thought it was. Yeah. Like the way he defends off the rush, because he's so balanced and such a good skater, doesn't panic with players coming down on him off the rush. That's a big thing. And economizing your energy to play top pair is a big thing. Like, remember like Niedermeyer. Like, he never wasted a movement to steal any energy. Like, Doughty knows how to economize. Hedman, they all know how to economize their energy. so they can play 25, 26, 27 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was always a big fan of Cam York. I mean, I even went out and said I think that he would have been better here. Provorov was a big minutes guy, but I valued Cam York's game more than I did Provorov, and obviously the behind scenes stuff or whatever. But I'm happy that Cam York's here, and it's perfectly what you said. It's a great contract. I know there's also a lot of agents out there on Twitter as well.
Yeah, well, the thing is with York too. This is not a comparison on the level of player because Mike Schmidt's a Hall of Famer, the greatest third baseman of all time.
Yeah.
But they're similar in this way. The way that Mike Schmidt played looked so aloof and devoid of busting your ass, and because he was so under control, he was so efficient in the way he played that often it looked like he was just kind of going through the motions, but he was so great. Cam is a guy that is going to be a guy that's going to leave people wanting more because they love the guys that are diving for pucks. That's not Cam. That's not effort for him. He just doesn't put himself in a position to have to do that.
He doesn't need to be. Yeah,
it's a good skater. But people see goalies that dive all over, make these crazy saves. That's a self-inflicted wound for a goalie. The reason why they're diving is because they took too much ice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see other guys that are back a little bit more conservative in their depth. It's just a quick movement over, and they're there. Like Quick was one of those guys, Fleury, that would oftentimes take so much ice that they have to make these crazy saves, and people thought that was the essence of great goaltending. That's a self-inflicted wound.
Mm-hmm.
You look at other guys.
True goalie
Gary Price didn't make a lot of those crazy saves because he was so efficient in how he moved in the net and read plays. His thing was, beat the pass on my edges and be there and square. Where other guys are trying to throw flesh in front of it. So, that sometimes the way it looks, it doesn't look like maximum effort.
Yeah.
Cam has a little bit of that too. And the thing, he's such a chill guy, California dude. But
of course,
he's a massive competitor.
Yeah.
There's a lot of confidence there and swagger. I don't think it's cockiness. It's just confidence.
No, I don't see it either.
Yeah. So that's a good thing to have.
Great thing to have. Good stuff with Flyers Talk with Jason. A couple of comments here. We'll get to them right now. Hunter O'Rourke, what's up, buddy? Says, what's up, Martinez? That was probably we'll give that a little pass. Obviously, I know he meant to say Myrtetus, but people probably give him
they still go there. They still go Martinez.
They still go there. Kevin jumps in, talks a little bit about Sanheim and how his year should be looking. I think Sanheim's going to continue on and just flurry and just do an incredible job. Erica upstairs, my better half. Saturday's going to be a great day. Can't wait to see everyone there. Watch some exciting 3v3. Super excited about some of the raffles too. Lots of great stuff for everybody. Well, thanks for checking in, hon.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Showing support from upstairs. How about that?
Yeah. Where my old lady checking in? Where's she?
Yeah, right.
8:30. She's asleep.
She's asleep. Well, let's transition on here to a little segment that we like to call.
Oh wow!
All right, Ryan. We're gonna let you take the floor here.
Do
a little gut check here. 5 questions. Straight to Martinez.
That entrance video threw me off a little bit, bud.
I know. I had to throw that in there. Little woo-wee. Little transition.
Threw me off a little bit. Yeah. So gut check is presented by Digital Elements. I know. I wanted a nice little theme song or something. Like a WWE entrance or something like that. Like.
We got our rock music that we're going on.
Oh yeah, that's what I need. My music. All right, Jason. So you got 5 questions for you. First answer that comes to your head. Let's hear it. All right, you ready?
All right.
All right. First one, pretty simple one. Your favorite NHL player?
Is this of all time or current?
It could be current or all time, whatever you want.
All time, Ron Hextall.
What are you both?
Ooh,
current.
Is that who you? Is that? I love that, by the way. So let me ask you about real quick. Is that who you kind of like? Who did you watch that as a goalie that wanted you to play goalie? Was it Hextall?
No, I was already playing when he got here because I started in the late 70s. The real influences on me were Pelle Lindbergh and Hextall, though. There was kind of movements like Lindbergh, and I was obviously built more like him as a smaller guy.
Yeah.
But Hextall in compete level and attitude and playing the puck. I was like, even in beer league, I'd play the puck like a madman. I'd tell my D, don't even come back. If they dump it in, don't even come on this side of the blue line. Yeah, I need your leg.
Scram.
I'll get it. I'll go to the corner, get it, and I'll bomb it up the wing for you. So, yeah, absolutely.
That's a good goal
He's
right
got, he's got a little Santor in him.
I actually have a patch over there on my wall thing. I have a American Hockey Association A house patch for playmaker because as a goalie, I had a playmaker. I had 3 assists in a game because I played the puck so much. Yeah,
Get out of here. Jason would crush in a 3-on-3. He might even take a shot on that for just to put it out there.
Oh, no doubt.
You just see on Saturday the lights go out, and then here comes Jason out in his gear, and he's like, "Get that off
Just
the
a
ice,
big
it's my
entrance.
turn."
I got a twig. I always got
Yeah.
kind of close around. And
Yeah.
This one's through it a little bit, but
There we go. We expected Jason to show up just in full gear, just ready for the show.
I don't think I can
John
carry
Jones.
the gear in right now.
I could really carry my own gear.
He can
I
get
guess
the
Ryan
he
sometime.
can do the Joe Watson at the alumni game when the lights went out
Yeah.
and Joe Watson came out of the tunnel. That was the funniest thing I ever saw in person.
Joe's a maniac. He's like 82
That was the
years old and
greatest.
still playing.
Did you ever see that,
Yeah,
Frankie?
tired, I don't buy it.
I have not actually. That's pretty cool
Oh
though.
my god! I was at the
Yeah,
game with my
I called
uncle
that
and
game.
the lights went off.
Did you?
I remember.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I was there with my
Yeah.
uncle, and he's like, "What the hell's happened?" I said, "I don't know." And then here comes Watson. I'm like, "Oh my god!"
Pre-planned. Let's go to number 2. Question number 2.
Number 2, your Flyers Mount Rushmore.
4 greatest Flyers of all time. I feel like almost you should break this up into like from 67 to 2000 and 2000 to now. But all time, because all time it's too easy. It's Clark, it's Bernie, it's Eric Lindros, and probably you're going to probably put Bill Barber on that list or Mark Howell. That's probably your top 4 of all time. If I did a top 4 from just
Late decade.
2000 to now,
Sure, it's 2000s.
I would probably have on there. Well, Giroux would absolutely be on there. Simon Gagne might make that list.
For that,
you probably don't have a goalie because the best goalie from 2000 to now was probably Steve Mason, who actually had a really good 2 years here. So you're probably not going to put a goalie there. Eric Desjardins, you'd probably put him there over Chemo. And then maybe one more. I mean, Voracek's got great numbers. But if you go back, did Carter and Richards play here long enough to go on there?
Sadly, I don't think
know.
so. Richards is one of my favorite captains of all time. Most underrated captain, I think, here. For me personally, that's just what I've always
You
said.
don't put Pronger on it because he didn't play here long enough, although he was great.
No.
So
Lindros didn't play here that long enough either. Myrtetus.
not in 2000 he didn't. Yeah, he was gone in 2001.
No.
What
How
about a
long
Johnny
was he here
Leclerc?
for? Like, well, yeah,
He
legend.
came. Lindros came in 90 or 92,
90.
93.
Yeah.
I think it was. Yeah. They went to the final in 97 against the Red Wings.
Oh, we all remember. Well, that's not bad. I'll take it. Let's hit on number 3. I like this question actually.
Yeah, number 3. Your dream road trip partner.
Is this hockey related?
Now,
Could be anybody.
Now,
Could be
my
anybody.
question would be
Celebrity,
in the-
hockey, whatever.
Ozzy.
that's awesome.
It's easy.
I'm gonna re-ask the question.
Where are we going? Where are we going, Sharon?
Sing it, Ozzy. Sing it. I want a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Get Frankie.
Yeah, I'll go.
How about this one?
Picture with Ozzy any day of the week.
Love that. Dream road trip partner of someone in the media that you could take, that you would be traveling across. Who would it be? Who can you do it with?
With a media member? Jeez.
One of your crew members. Who's one?
I'd be better off giving you the person I would hate to do a nightmare road trip with.
Not opposed to it.
Yeah. The dream one, I'll take. Geez, I don't know. There's a lot of good media guys here, but I don't know that I want to spend a road trip with any of them. I'm trying to think like more outside of hockey.
Yeah,
Derek Gunn.
That would be perfect.
E-Gun.
He would be a blast.
Big
Big barbecue guy too. You know what I mean? At least we'll be getting fed right. Know where all the good spot. Yeah, let's go. Jason will be fed.
Yeah,
I like that.
I love E-Gun. He's great. Derek Gunn, Comcast Sports.
Yeah. I grew up with him, so I
miss
much
him.
respect to him.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah, dude. Heck
I
yeah.
grew up with him.
Number 4.
All right, since you're a goalie, give you a little goalie question here, all right? If you could have your dream defense pairing, who would it be? As a goalie,
In front of you.
In front of you, who would your dream defensive pairing be?
See, I can't go back to like Bobby Orr, because that's just a little bit before my time. But I'll take. Is the pairing a pairing that actually played together, like Howe and McCrimmon?
Nope. Those are
Any two guys?
Anybody. Any two guys.
Give me Nick Lidstrom and Chris Pronger.
Let's go.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nicky
Well, the
likes
Lidstrom
that.
would annoy me because I loved when pucks got dumped in and rimmed because I get out and stop it and play the puck and just made you feel like you're into the game. He would knock pucks down out of midair all the time. It would have drove me crazy. I'd be like, come on, dude. Like, let me get a little touch.
I mean, a little action
Murphy,
here.
Him and Larry
Yeah.
Murphy together, they just would stick their sticks out, and the puck would go. Yep.
Unreal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a
watch
great
some
pairing.
highlights.
Yeah, I mean, Lidstrom was.
I love it.
I don't think he gets the
one of the
credit.
best.
He's unreal. How good he is.
Love it. Let's go. Number 5.
Number 5 is a
final
little
one.
different. This is actually a Frankie question.
Yeah, I'm actually curious.
I'm curious now. What would your career choice be if you didn't do media?
So if you weren't in the media, where do you think you would have ended up, my friend?
The whole media thing wasn't a plan for me. Like
Okay.
I didn't grow up like saying I wanted to be on the radio or anything. It was never part of it for me. I had a teacher my senior year of high school. Tony Rotundo was his name. He taught public speaking at Westchester East High School, and he was like a huge
Shout
impact
out.
on me. And he had told me like, hey, what do you plan on doing? You should think about doing radio. And I was like, what? He's like, you got a good
You got
voice.
the pipes, man.
You had no problem.
You got the pipes,
in front of
Jason.
people. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And I never thought about it. And then when I was at Penn State, I originally went for forestry, but there was way too much math and science in that for me.
Wow.
So I was like, what am I going to flip my major to? So I'm like, it was called broadcast. I think it was broadcasting cable was the major at that time. So I switched to that. And before I'd even started in the major, I worked at a beer distributor at Penn State at W.R. Hickey, drive-through beer distributor. And this guy came in, paid with a check, and I looked down at his knee, he had a radio station hat on, and his name was Ed Wank. Are you that Wank in the morning? He was the morning show guy on the rock station. He's like, yeah. And I'm like, I just changed my major to broadcast to radio. I was thinking about doing an internship. He's like, I'd love to have the beer guy as an intern. Come down tomorrow and talk to me after the show. Talk to us after the show.
That's a gimmick, man.
I'm like, all right. So I went in at 10 o'clock the next day, met with the show. They're like, they offered me the internship on the spot, and I took it. And I've been in radio for 2
Jason.
years.
The rest is history.
Yeah, like this
Love
wasn't like
story.
a targeted path for me or anything. But what would I do if I wasn't in the media?
Yeah.
The story was satisfying enough.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I've never thought about anything else.
We got our
That's why we
first.
do these questions.
I
We
worked in
get the
rock
brains
radio.
going a little bit.
Yeah, I worked in rock radio for the first 10 years of my career, which was awesome. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
And then moved to spoken word and sports for the last, I guess, 25 years at this point. So yeah, I don't know what I would do. Probably
take
not be
it.
good at it.
I'll take. We stumped them. The first one.
I got my first stump.
That's why we do these questions.
Yeah,
That's why we do. That's why we do these questions, man.
I mean, like in any job, you always think, "Oh, that'd be a cool job to do."
Yeah.
I'd like to do that job, or I'd like to do this job. But I mean, I realized fully though too, like throughout my career, even at work, you don't want to get up off the couch no matter what you do for a living.
Yeah.
To go, you're just like, oh,
Exactly.
geez, I gotta do it. It's work for a reason. And even when I, doing the radio shows or doing what I do now, like I've always recognized that if they advertised for my job, there'd be a line around the building and people willing to take it for no money.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I
Living
always
the dream.
always keep that in mind that I've been really lucky to do what I've done for 30 some years and make a living doing it. Like it's like, are you kidding me? Like I'm just a kid who grew up here, like watching the Flyers and watching hockey and playing.
Yeah.
And like, that's how I make a living. Like, are you serious?
Very humble. I love it. I love it. I before I got into doing like the hockey tournaments with like Chirping Pucks Media, obviously I had like a little bit of background in photography. When I got my opportunity to do freelancing with Jamie Bascal with Flyers Nitty Gritty, that's how I actually got my in with all that. But I spent 10 years in law. I worked in foreclosure.
Wow.
10 years before I did this, and now
And
I get
the
to
only
host
other
hockey
thing
tournaments.
The only other thing I did,
Have some fun.
which is appealing still, I don't do as much of it anymore. I used to do a ton. I used to do a ton of voiceover work.
Oh yeah,
So,
Oh, definitely. Absolutely.
as
when
you
I was-
should.
Yeah, when I was at WIP, I mean, I had the side thing going, voiceover work there, and I did a ton of it and made a ton of money doing it. I had an agent that was bi-coastal that got me work out of New York and LA, and did all kinds of stuff and characters on. Like I was a couple characters on Nicktoons on some show. I've done a ton of stuff.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Just a couple of cartoon characters. All right, I'm here for
yeah,
it.
and like did that and did like like network promos, so like tonight on CBS,
Yes.
on an all
In a
new
world.
yeah, an all new Criminal Minds or whatever, that kind of shit. So I did all that
I'm here
too.
for it.
And that stuff was fun, from car commercials to whatever network.
That's
promos.
incredible.
Yeah,
That's
And all,
awesome.
Like, the character stuff that I did was all based on like media members here that I would imitate.
Oh, I
Like
love
there
it.
was
You do some
definitely
good
one that
ones?
had, like there was definitely one that had a lot of like Gargano in them.
Yeah.
What's going
Scream.
on, bro? The whole thing. He'd always be like, what's funny? And I'd be like, what do you there's nothing funny. You know what's funny? No, I don't.
I'll tell you later.
You're not a comedy guy, Bo. I
love him.
He'd come and be like, I hate comedians.
Yeah.
I hate comedy.
I had him and Joey Diaz mixed up for a few years. Not gonna lie to you. Respectfully
Yeah,
saying.
you can definitely tell.
Yeah, so he hated my imitation.
I was like, oh, Jay stole with Joey Diaz again.
I remember one time when I was working with Mike, I like needed to like cut the tension with Mike because he was just manic or crazy about something, just bitching, moaning on the air about something that was going on. And my job was to like loosen him up at the time. So I remember I did karaoke as Anthony, cause karaoke is what I called it. And I just put on the song. Remember that El King song, X's and O's?
Oh my God.
Had me a boy, turned into a man. And I did this thing as Anthony. Told him all the things that he couldn't understand. Whoa. And I go, they call me the Bo. The hotline rings in the studio. I picked up my Fanatic hotline, and it's Anthony. He goes, I'm going to fucking kill you. What do you mean? He's like, that impersonation. I go, it's not an impersonation. It's an homage.
That's great.
I love it. And what a way to end Gut Check, man.
God.
Great segment there. We're going to transition now to our final topic of the night, man. And that's the Cancer Warriors charity tournament. We are finally here, my friend.
Yeah.
It is a few days away. You and I kind of initiated. I was having this conversation with Bill Meltzer, and we were talking about how this kind of all started. And, being in the hockey community as much as I am, as much as you are, and I did the reach out to you. You're a bit of a night owl. I'm a bit of a night owl. We had some most of our conversations were like
texted in the AM.
No, no. Yeah, the AM of like 2-3 a.m.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but you gave me the okay to have this, man, and we are only a few days away. And just want to we're going to announce our team real fast and plug a few sponsors if you don't mind. The official team has been announced. We have Ryan, the one and only Ryan Hockey, joining the team. Alexis Matlack, coach of one of the assistant coaches at Philadelphia Blind Hockey. Mia Patton, UWHL player with the Hawks. Desi Fioravanti. This will be Desi's final tournament before he moves to South Florida. He wanted to be a part of this. Police officer at TCNJ. He's moving to South Florida. So, Desi, we're so happy to have you. My good friend, Brad Vittorini, another great player, formerly Team Dexter. The John Hooverman, captain of the Corn Stars. We have myself. I will be actually playing in this tournament. And then we have the one and only Hunter Herrera. Some sponsor mentions. We want to thank everybody that's been a part of this. We want to thank Lead Hockey for a great donation. They're going to be on site with their truck as well and playing in the tournament. FV Architecture, Chirping Pucks, that's us. We got Strides for John Carlo. Thank you so much for everything you've been able to do. D. Lorenzo's, the Berg Pizza Place in Levittown, marketing agency near you. Digital Elements, who created our website. Thank you so much for that. The Philadelphia Little Flyers, our good friend Julie Brogdon, who is a goaltender with the 16U team, will be on site doing interviews for us. We're excited to have her, and of course, Kara Weber as well. We also have our good friends Grove Wellness Center, Wellness Acupuncture, great friends of mine, hockey players as well. They will be on site as well. And of course, just another great mention to Hockey Hot Stove, our good friends over there. Thank you for featuring us. It means so much to us. We are super excited to be able to partner up with you guys. A lot of people involved. Jason.
Wow.
Incredible.
Take a breather, bud.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, I need a breather on that one.
I mean, anybody just get involved to do it. And again, it's so humbling. Like, it's it's kind of renewed my faith in humanity, because in our twisted social media egg avatar world, you start to lose faith a little bit with all the trolls and all the shit that goes on online. And like this whole experience is like kind of opened my eyes. There is a lot of good people out there. I mean, you reaching out to me, Frankie, and like that's humbling. And to do this whole thing, it means a ton to me. It means a ton to my family, and I really appreciate it.
It means a lot to us too, man. That you were okay with it, because I've known of you. We never had a chance to actually meet in person when I was doing stuff with Nitty Gritty and all them, but the Hockey Players Unite, man. It's something that's really important to me, and it's personal for me. And we're just happy to be able to do that. You were okay with it, and Ryan, you look like you want to jump in as well. Yeah, Ryan.
Yeah, I want to add some real fast to Jason. Obviously, you know Frankie for a while. This is the first time we met each other today, and it's a true honor.
It's our first time too.
I was telling Frankie the other day, I've been a huge fan of you for years. I followed all your work, all your interviews, your Flyers TV little videos you had on YouTube. I was a big fan of them. When Frankie brought this up to me and said that we're going to be doing this for you, I did tell him, obviously, a huge fan of you, and I'm truly honored to be able to do this for you. On behalf of myself and Frankie, we love what you do. Keep pulling, keep pushing through what you're doing. We got your backs, brother. Just
100%.
Fighting to the end, man. And we're truly blessed to have you on today, and this is a dream come true for both of us. So
let's go, man. And Brian ordered the jerseys. Brian's responsible for getting us the jerseys.
Yeah, awesome.
We're super excited for that. We sent them over to you. We got a comment here. Game starts at 8 a.m. Flyers Training Center in Voorhees. We'll be there until 3. Come join us for. Oh, thank you, honey. Just checking in upstairs.
That's what all nice work. The upper, the penthouse checking in. No, I mean, like it's crazy going through this whole thing, and like people don't realize, like Frankie said, like I'm a night owl too. There's a lot of days when you're going through chemo or going through treatment where you just feel like you don't feel like doing it anymore. I've talked about it on the podcast. I talked about it on Monday with my wife, that Monday I turned around and came home. I didn't want to go to radiation because I'm like, I got 5 days this week. I'm really beat up, and I just wanted to bank a UB and come home. And I just think back all the people that have been pushing me and supporting me, and both behind the scenes and just listeners and people that consume the podcast or have heard me over the years, to guys like John Tortorella has been a huge help to me. Ed Zoe's another guy that, reached out to me right away when I went public and went through this battle. So he's been kind of a guy to help me out. John Kincaid also, some media members.
Yeah.
And when I don't want to go, or, I want to throw in the towel because I'm just too beat up, I think about those people and that kind of stuff. And you always wonder, how can I help somebody? And just, dropping a note into the DMs or shooting a tweet or whatever it is. It helps you when you're in that vulnerable state. And I've been in that vulnerable state quite a bit over the last 7 months. So just know, anybody that's ever, I try to respond to everybody with at least a note, and just know that I read all of them, and they absolutely do help me.
Well, we'd love to hear that, Jason. And Saturday will be an opportunity for you to kind of get out and be around the rink and see what we have going on, and we're just super happy to be able to do it, man. What more can we say? We're grateful. We're honored that we're in, that we in the hockey player community, we unite, man. And that's kind of like how I end the show every time, which we're starting to transition to, is the Hockey Players Unite event list, where we plug all the local hockey tournaments, events, and stuff like that to kind of continue to build the hockey community. It's important to us, and we're just grateful that you're going to be able to do this for you, brother.
Yeah, I love this community. I love the hockey community so much.
Great.
It shaped my entire life. That NHL.com article that come out about me was how I'm attacking this from my hockey life standpoint. Shift by shift, period. But even though as a goalie, we didn't take shift by shift, but that's how I've attacked it. I had to. So. You don't win every game or every period, but you find a way to win the game. So that's kind of the way I'm approaching this. And the hockey community is awesome. You know, people. I never trusted people that go, I don't really like hockey or I don't understand it. Like,
I don't trust those kind of people. I don't trust you a whole lot.
Yeah.
Perfectly said, man. Perfectly said. Well, as we start the transition out here, once again, dude, thank you so much for being a part of this. Where can everybody find you? We'll also make sure that we put all the tags in the description of the show once we get uploaded. But where can we find you, Jason? And what's next for you?
Okay, so Flyers Daily, which I do Monday through Wednesdays and Fridays in the off season. That's on YouTube as well. You can get that on all your podcast forums, Apple, Spotify, all that stuff. Then also the Eagles squad show that I do on the Locked On Network with Harry Mays, Mark Farzetta, and Louis DiBiase. We do that every Tuesday and Thursday at noon. What else do I do? I have OGs with Harry that I do. Harry Mays, my old radio partner. The OGs podcast, which again we stream, and also you can get that on all the podcast channels. I think I have one more too, don't I? I don't know. I think that's it. Stick to hockey. I'll probably bring back if I'm healthy. So
I have them. So we'll make sure that we get them out there. Our final comment of the night. Our good friend John Hooverman, who's going to be playing in this as well. Great show, guys. Keep on fighting, Jason. See you Saturday. Hooverman.
Yeah, I'll be there, man. Stretch before you get out there, boys. We don't have any enough players for pulled groins.
Listen, I know, especially 3-on-3. Hooverman actually donated a little weekend stay in Ocean City, New Jersey at his place for a little raffle basket. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of interested in myself.
Yeah, love it.
I like it, man. But but that's gonna do it for us here. Thank you, Jason. Once again, thank you so much for coming on, man. And stay tuned. We're gonna be doing some content over the weekend. Super excited. Thank you guys, everybody. Make sure you follow the Chirping Pucks podcast on social media, and we will see you next week.